That is the trouble with being stuff which is good for something. Keep that first lesson in mind. There's trouble with being good for something. Here's the second story. When Su Chou was rambling on the hill of Shang, he saw a great tree which stood out from the rest. It was so big, you could tether 1,000 teams of horses to it, and they would all find shelter in its shade. What tree is this, he wondered. This is translated by a British man, so it has a very affected sort of speech. What tree is this, he wondered. The timber must be quite out of the ordinary, I should think. I can't quite imagine a person 2,500 years ago saying, I should think, but there it is. But when he looked up at the slimmer branches, they were too crooked to make beams and rafters. When he looked at the trunk, the grain was too twisted and loose to make coffins. If you licked a leaf, it stung the mouth and left a sore. If you took a sniff, it made you delirious for a full 3 days. Some of you are very intrigued by this, I know. This indeed is wretched timber, he said, which is why it has grown so big. Aha, that's why the most attuned people are made of such poor stuff. So the second lesson is, if you want to live out your days, be useless. Interesting. There's a whole theme in Zhuangzi of uselessness and learning the uses of the useless. Zhuangzi always had a point to make about human life with his parables. His writings are full of exhortations to be useless or to find uses for the useless, for the conventional uses. There is a danger, he says, in being of use to the conventional world, whether in the form of an employer, the government, or a social movement. The world system will use you up. Outlive the system by evading it all along, is what Zhuangzi seems to be saying. Live more intensely by not giving your best or your most to the system. Be useless without drawing attention to yourself, even as you live near it. In the process of self-cultivation, develop knowledge and feeling that benefits life, but that the system has no use for.